JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, tropical wave could impact Jamaica by weekend. The Met Service of Jamaica says a tropical wave moving over the Atlantic Ocean could develop into a tropical depression in the next few days and enter the Caribbean. According to the Met Service, the system could enter the southeastern Caribbean by midweek and increase the chances of rain for Jamaica going into the weekend. An update from the National Hurricane Center (NHC) said the tropical wave is currently located about 900 miles east-southeast of the southern Windward Islands and is producing a large area of showers and thunderstorms. It said environmental conditions appear conducive for further development, and a tropical depression is likely to form in the next couple of days before the system reaches the Windward Islands Tuesday night or possibly while moving westward across the southern Caribbean Sea Wednesday through Friday. The NHC said tropical storm watches or warnings for portions of the Windward Islands and along the northeastern coast of Venezuela could be issued as early as Monday evening. It said the cyclone formation chance through the next 48 hours is a high 70% and through the next 5 days is a high 90%. Regardless of its development, the NHC said heavy rainfall is possible over the Windward Islands and the northeastern coast of Venezuela Tuesday night and Wednesday. In the meantime, the Met Service will continue to monitor the system. Clarendon taximan branded informer shot dead. A Clarendon taxi operator who was reportedly labeled an informer was shot and killed in Vere in the parish on Saturday. That is 44-year-old Ralston Cockett, also known as Mark, of Springfield Housing Scheme in Vere. Cockett, who is a brother of a police officer, was targeted and was called a police informer, a source in the Jamaica Constabulary Force said. Residents of the area reportedly heard loud explosions about 11:40 p.m. and called the police. When the officers arrived, they found Cockett in a pool of blood with several gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was transported to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to the police, the Springfield area is known for various criminal activities, such as the drugs or gun trade, flour for cocaine trade, robberies, murders, and shootings. Up to June 20, a total of 33 people have been murdered in Clarendon. Police identify foreign national found dead in Manchester. The Manchester police have identified a foreign national whose body was found in Chudley, Manchester on Sunday morning. He is 50-year-old Kenyatta Harris, a resident of New Jersey in the United States and West Green Crescent in St. James. Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Lloyd Darby, said about 5:30 a.m. police were alerted to the community where the man's body was found on a roadway with a wound to the head. According to Superintendent Darby, based on preliminary investigations, Harris may have been hit in the head with a blunt instrument. He said further investigations have indicated that Harris was staying with friends in the Christiana area. He added that investigators are to probe why Harris was in the area. 2 men have been taken into custody by the police in connection with the murder. The police are awaiting the outcome of an autopsy report to determine the cause of death. Cops seek 7 men after multiple shootings in West Kingston. The Kingston Western Police have named 7 men as persons of interest in connection with the shooting of 9 people, 2 fatally, in 2 separate incidents over the weekend. Robert Ewart, otherwise called Berry, 37, a market clerk for the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, was shot dead and 6 other people injured along Greenwich Park Road on Friday night. Less than 24 hours later, Albert Hibbert, 47, a mechanic from Morgan's Lane, Kingston 8, was shot dead, and another mechanic injured by a gunman on Lincoln Avenue, Kingston 13. Police said initial investigations indicate that the incidents might be related. The police believe these persons of interest can assist with the ongoing investigations. They are Renardo Phipps, otherwise called Fry, of Matthews Lane, Kevin Ruddock, otherwise called Haji, of Rome, Kingston 13, Alvin Cavalier, also called Bunny, Dollar Boss, Ansman, Sarge from Spanglers, and Shamal White, also called Gov. They have been asked to report to the Denhamton Police Station immediately. The police reported that Ewart and the 6 other people were among a group on Greenwich Park Road when a white Toyota drove up and stopped. 2 men armed with guns alighted from the left side of the car, shouted police, and opened gunfire. Everyone ran in different directions. The men allegedly left the area in the motor car. Afterwards, it was discovered that 7 people received gunshot wounds. They were taken to a hospital where Ewart succumbed to his injuries while being treated. The others were admitted. Hours later, about 1:10 p.m., Citizens reportedly heard explosions, sounding like gunshots on Lincoln Avenue, and summoned the police. Upon their arrival, lawmen found Hibbert suffering from gunshot wounds. He was rushed to hospital where he died. Another man was later found with gunshot wounds by residents. He was admitted to hospital. 27-year-old heading back to prison for a sixth time. A 27-year-old man will be heading back to prison for the sixth time after he was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment at hard labor in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Omar York, who was released from prison almost a year ago, pleaded guilty to larceny from the person, and Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague did not mince words in expressing her disappointment. 5 previous convictions for a man of 27 years old is troubling. You're going to prison and nothing changed. It must be that you're liking there, because to my mind, if it is somewhere you don't want to go, wouldn't you do everything in your power to keep far from it? So the shocks that you would have had would have no effect on you, the judge said. I have taken into account and have attached a significant amount of weight to the fact that you have 5 previous convictions. I take into account that by all accounts you're a young person, but you have been before the court for all of your adult life. 5 previous convictions, 2 for larceny, 1 for robbery with aggravation. You have not learned anything, she stressed, handing down the sentence. It was reported that on January 28 at 12:30 p.m., the complainant was walking along Barry Street in downtown Kingston when York approached her and grabbed her chain from around her neck. She held on to him and a tussle ensued between them. York then threw the chain on the ground and was later apprehended by the police. We are living in an age and time when people are afraid to walk on the road. We are living in an age and time when people supposed to can walk on the road with their gold chain and anything, unmolested. There is such a fear that people have, and the court is well aware that this sort of offense, larceny from the person, is prevalent, said Cole Montague. It is the view of this court that whatever sentence is set must serve as a deterrent, and the court must be guided by the temperature in the streets. When people are assaulted and robbed, there's a psychological effect too that some persons don't think about. There are some persons who, for example, would say, I would never wear a gold chain, and the court has to send a message to say, no. When those things happen, the matters are properly investigated. Your case will be dealt with. PMP opens up membership to Diaspora. Jamaicans domiciled abroad will soon get the chance to become members of the People's National Party PMP as the organization bids to expand its footprint with a beefed-up registration drive. That decision was ratified during Sunday's National Executive Council NEC meeting at Iona High School in Tower Isle, St. Mary. President of the PMP, Mark Golding, said the parties agreed to the move in principle and would fine-tune the details in short order. Currently, enrollment on Jamaica's voters list was the principal requirement for PMP membership. The decision by the PMP comes just over a week after the 9th biannual Diaspora Conference ended in Montego Bay, where the urgency in deepening relations between the diaspora and Jamaica was highlighted. Responding to questions, Golding said expatriates have much to offer to the development of Jamaica beyond remittances, which accounts for inflows of more than $3 billion annually. Golding, who is also the opposition leader, said the PMP hopes to tap long-standing affiliates in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, including the Jamaica Progressive League, which predates the party. We have many supporters over there and would like to engage more meaningfully with them, and one of the things they've expressed is the desire to be able to become members of our party, said the PMP president. Golding said the party will be working out the parameters and doing due diligence on applicants. It will also assess the rights of the new members. But the principle of membership has been established today at this NEC, and I'm very pleased about that. I think it's timely, he added. Golding spoke of the importance of the diaspora to the island's development. We get so much support from our diaspora, and I'm not just talking about financial support, as important as that is, but all forms of other support, the party president said. There's a tremendous reservoir of capabilities to help develop the country. Golding reiterated his call for an inquiry into the spending surrounding Kamina Johnson's failed bid to become Commonwealth Secretary General, describing her run as ill-conceived. It cost the country significant resources because they put money behind this, what I regard as a misguided attempt to have Kamina elected as Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Misguided, because she was going up against a Caribbean candidate who had not yet served her conventional 2 terms, and where CARICOM itself was largely supportive of the incumbent Baroness Scotland, with a few countries not doing so, Golding said. That was not a context in which Jamaica should have run into a contest to try and unseat the existing Secretary General, and they have lost. Golding said that while the margin of victory, 27 to 24, appeared narrow, the Dominica-born Scotland prevailed by a single vote when she was originally elected in 2016. So she's tripled her lead. So we want to know how that money was spent, how much was spent, and what the sources of funding were. The country is owed that explanation, he said. 118 new COVID-19 cases in Jamaica, 1 death reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 118 new COVID-19 cases and 1 death on Sunday, June 26, bringing the infection total to 142,558 and total deaths to 3,120. There were 104 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 90,665. Currently, 107 people hospitalized. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest run of testing is 14.9%. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.